All right, so let's see if the audio is okay. Yeah, perfect. How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great. I am Dr. Radu and I am back with another daily analysis. As always, I'm gonna start off with the Forex analysis. And to be more exact, I will start off with USD CHF, where we have a very beautiful bearish opportunity. Right here, we can see that we broke structure to the downside very impulsively with this bearish leg. We also have a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest. And the pullback has been a pretty corrective one as well. Hence why this is a valid setup, okay? On Euro CHF, we have a bullish setup that is currently running in some nice profits, literally as we speak. TP1 was smashed on both entries, and the reason I took this one is very simple. I saw a continuation of this uptrend with this bullish break of structure right here that took price higher and left the imbalance behind. I also saw that the daily and the 4-hour were both bullish on the trader graph. We also had an unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And the pullback was also a pretty corrective one, if I'm being honest, okay? Hence why we took this setup, and now we just need to wait and see how it will unfold. On GBP CAD, price is looking extremely bullish, hence why we have a potential bullish setup. Right here, we have a aggressive break, a unmitigated order block that is lining up with the area of interest. The trader graph is fully green, and the pullback is also looking very corrective. Okay, price seems to wanting to move higher. Okay. On USD CAD, we have a bullish shift in momentum. We can see we had a fake out to the downside, followed by a impulsive move towards the upside that broke structure slightly right here. But nonetheless, it's still a break. Daily and 4-hour are both bullish on the graph. We have a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest. And now, last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. On AUD CHF, we have a bullish setup. Clear break towards the upside caused by this bullish leg. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here with this fake out to the downside. And after the break, I spotted this fair value gap that is lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The trader graph is fully bullish, and the pullback so far is looking very nice and corrective as well, which is exactly what we want. On NZD USD, we have a textbook bullish setup, a continuation of this uptrend with this bullish leg right here. Okay, we have a fair value gap lining up with this bullish trader order block, and they are both lining up with the area of interest. Pullback so far looks pretty corrective, and the trader graph is fully bullish. GBP JPY with a textbook bullish setup, a continuation of this very aggressive bullish trend with this bullish leg right here that took price higher and left the imbalance behind. We have a unmitigated order block that is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The daily and the 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph. And now we gotta wait for a corrective pullback towards our fire zone. GBP USD looking bullish. Okay, textbook break towards the upside that left a lot of imbalance behind. We have this fair value gap as well as this one, and they are lining up with the area of interest. And the pullback so far looks pretty corrective as well. Okay, so we definitely want to see a continuation of that. On EuroCAD, what do we have here? We have a bearish shift in momentum. We have a fake out to the upside above this high, followed by a very impulsive move towards the downside. After that, I was able to spot this unmitigated order block that is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And we can see that the pullback so far is looking very corrective as well. On Euro USD, we have a bullish setup. Right here, price broke above with some impulsiveness. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here, which is a great added confluence. The daily and the 4-hour are both bullish on the graph. The pullback so far looks pretty corrective, and we also have a fair value gap that is lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Okay, so this is definitely a promising looking setup. On AUD USD, we have another bullish opportunity that is lining up with the overall trend. We can see that the trader graph is fully bullish as well. And right here, we have a sweep of liquidity followed by a impulsive break towards the upside. After the break, I spotted this fair value gap that, as we can see, is lining up with the area of interest. And to be fair, the pullback so far looks pretty corrective. So we definitely want to see a continuation of that. And lastly, for our Forex analysis, we have GBP AUD, where we have a textbook bullish opportunity, very aggressive break, super corrective pullback so far, a fair value gap that is lining up with the point of interest, and the 4-hour is also bullish on the trader graph. So once again, this is a pretty promising setup. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's Forex analysis right here. As always, if there's any other questions, you should reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold, where we have a very textbook bearish setup. We can see that we broke structure to the downside right here. Before the break, we also swept liquidity with this fake out to the upside. And after the break, I was able to identify this fair value gap that is lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The 4-hour is also bearish on the trader graph, and the pullback looks very nice and corrective as well. Okay, so looking very, very good, very valid. On silver, we have a bullish setup. Okay, right here, a textbook break towards the upside caused by this bullish leg. We then have a fair value gap that is lining up perfectly with the point of interest. And now we gotta wait to see if we get a corrective pullback. And we can also see that the trader graph is fully bullish as well, which is a great added confluence. And on that note, we'll end today's metals analysis right here. As always, if there's any further questions, you should reach out on Discord. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US 30. That looks like it's reversing, okay? Right here we can see that price is looking pretty bearish. However, I wasn't really able to identify a bearish setup. Right here we would be in the middle of nowhere, hence why I didn't take this bearish range. And I'm just gonna leave the price as is and wait for some fresh structure to develop. On SPX though, we have a very clear bearish setup. We have a shift in momentum here, liquidity sweep followed by a aggressive break towards the downside. We have this unmitigated order block that is lining up with the area of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and the pullback so far has been very, very corrective as well. And we can see that we slightly missed the first entry. It would have been such a beautiful sniper, but nonetheless, this is still a valid setup. And on NASDAQ, I wasn't able to identify anything new. Okay, there's no clear range that we can take, hence why we won't waste any time on it, and we'll just leave the chart as is till some fresh structure develops. And yeah, we'll end today's indices analysis right here. And as I always say, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And lastly, I will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin, where currently I don't really see anything. Price is moving pretty choppy, sideways. As we can see, no clear move, no clear decision. Hence why I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna wait for a clear break either to the up or to the downside. And from there, we should be able to identify a setup. On Ethereum, we have this bullish setup running in some nice profits, literally as we speak. TP1 was smashed on entry number 1, and TP1 and TP2 on entry number 2 with a very beautiful sniper reaction right there. Okay, and the reason we took it is very simple. I saw a continuation of this uptrend with a bullish break of structure right here. After the bullish break, I saw a fair value gap that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Right beneath it, we had a bullish trader order block as well. And I also saw that the daily and the 4-hour were both bullish on the graph. And lastly, the pullback was also pretty corrective. So it was definitely a A+ setup that respected all of our confluences. Hence why I took it, and currently it is running in some nice profits. So let's see how this one will play out. And on Dogecoin, nothing really to discuss about. Price is moving sideways, so we're just gonna wait for some fresh structure. XRP, same exact story. Okay, price is looking pretty choppy, no clear range. And lastly, we have Solana with a bullish opportunity. Okay, right here we have a bullish break. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well. And after the break, I spotted this fair value gap that, as we can see, is lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The pullback so far is definitely pretty corrective because we can see that the bullish pressure is still on and price wants to go higher. The daily is also bullish on the graph, and yeah, for now the setup is still valid. However, if the price will continue to move higher, it will become invalid. Okay, and yeah, on that note, we'll end today's crypto as well as the overall daily analysis right here. As always, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all on the dark side. Take care.